Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. Today I want to talk about being the gatekeeper of your kingdom of heaven, which is your imagination, and you were given your imagination for the purpose of what we're all doing here. We want to change something in our reality. We want to have a different experience with somebody. Most people obviously want to manifest a loving, healthy relationship. In any case, if you have previous subconscious programming and the root causes were from, that age between 0 and 5, I believe, where we don't actually have an ego yet and we are just sponges, and the things that we were perceiving, whether they were actually real or just our perception, we were simply emotional beings at that point in our lives. So we were just kind of, everything was sensory and emotions. And so we were just like absorbing it all. And we were programmed. And that programming basically shaped our entire lives up until this point. And then you get to this point of awakening in your life, for example, when you're actually ready for your true love and you've had a number of experiences with different past relationships. It's like you go into them with this baggage of the programming from all of the subconscious things that happened when you were a child. You don't know this, and you don't realize that you're actually manifesting. You're going to either, because sometimes things are just perception and sometimes things are actual manifestations. So you may have had like tumultuous, unhealthy, scary, abusive relationships that involved betrayals, or in even some cases, I'm inspired by one of my clients' sessions that I had yesterday, that, maybe you had a very traumatic event that happened in a relationship where the person, passed away, and that experience was very traumatic. So there could be a number of different manifestations that you've had throughout your life that have made it subconsciously scary to be committed, to be in a relationship, to be vulnerable, to allow yourself to just be and be relaxed and be happy. It doesn't feel safe to be happy. It may not feel safe to allow yourself to rely on somebody else. So you develop this kind of, it's kind of like this protective barrier around you. And I'm getting an image right now that I'm going to share based off of a product that I used to sell in my interior design business. That was the manifestation, to prove that manifestation was real. But the image that I got in my head was there was this candle, and it was awesome because when you lit the candle, the wax would just melt. Once it got to a certain point, a silhouette of a cast iron statue of two lovers intertwined was revealed. Within you is you and your specific person as one. The wax of the candle in the metaphor that I'm using is kind of like the protective barrier that you put around yourself based off of all of the stuff that I spoke about in the beginning of the video, the subconscious fears, the programming, the baggage from the previous relationships. But now you've met like the real deal. It's kind of really scary. And so you go into like this protective mode that you don't realize you're doing consciously with your mind. You're like, yes, I want this. Yes, I want this. Oh my God, I'm in love, this and that, all this great stuff. But then you don't realize what's actually happening. So you're actually protecting yourself. And then the protection can either be your perception that something is happening when it actually isn't. Like, in other words, this person is actually treating you like gold. They're actually there for you every step of the way. They're doing nothing but loving you and being there for you and giving you everything that you've never had before. But that is so foreign to you that your perception, because you're scared, so your perception is this isn't safe. This is a bunch of BS. This isn't true. You're seeing them from this lens, this filter of fear, not safe. And then without realizing it, you are making them into being something that they're not. And really, it's just you protecting yourself. But this is your true love. But no matter what they actually do or say, until you step into the kingdom of heaven of your human imagination and allow yourself to manifest from your human imagination. Like, in other words, in your kingdom of heaven, you are peaceful, you're loved, you guys are together, you are trusting them, you guys get through things, you communicate well, you allow yourself to let them show you love. And if a little bit of fear starts to rise up, you're the gatekeeper of your kingdom of heaven, and you just say, no, that's actually not happening. I am safe. I am always loved. I'm always secure. In some cases, it's not just perception. It's actually that your perception then went to the next steps. And then you are actually in the experience of manifesting the things that you don't want. Because when you're creating from the furnace of affliction and hell, you are actually not in your kingdom of heaven, and you don't want to continue manifesting from the furnace of hell. Okay. So anyway, before I get further into this, if you love my content, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want me to be your coach to manifest a better relationship with your specific person, or if you want to manifest them back in your reality, please do reach out to me by email. Short description to kim@coreunion.com, and then book your session or package of sessions with me on my website, coreunion.com. It's that simple. And then we'll get back to you with my next available after you've done that. Protecting your kingdom of heaven is one of the most important things that you can do, because what sometimes happens is while you're actually in the process of awakening, you start to get movement in your 3D reality. Your life starts to reflect back to you what your dominant inner work has been. When it starts showing itself and you're in the unfolding of it, meaning your person has come back, they're wanting to spend time with you, that doesn't mean that you stop doing your inner work and you allow yourself to get back into the 3D reality, like kind of the throes of the 3D reality. Because what happens is there are things that you're witnessing, experiencing, a lot of the old story. And instead of allowing yourself to just bask in the hardcore evidence and proof that you have now in your reality that they actually are, it's unfolding and they're coming back. These little molehills are being made into mountains because your awareness and attention and energy is on that. And I know that you're doing the best that you can, but you're maintaining this connection because you are almost, you're not actually trusting in your end. You're not trusting in your power. You're not believing that you actually are the one. So you feel like you have to keep a hold on your specific person in the 3D. What ends up happening often is you'll end up manifesting a ton of more experiences, and the little molehills become more mountains for you to overcome. Where if instead of maintaining this friends with benefits situation, or the constant maintaining, pretending like you're okay just being friends, you're not actually being your authentic self. From my perspective, then while in the Bible, Jesus was very clear when he said, it is simply, your faith can be the size of a mustard seed. And when you say to the mountain, move from here to there, the mountain has to move from here to there. While that is true, and you can overcome and move any mountains, the process can be so draining that now you end up in a place where instead of manifesting from your kingdom of heaven, you are manifesting from the furnace of affliction, and you're constantly having to manage. You do your inner work, but then throughout the day, it's like there's a dam and there's this water and there's a hole in the dam, and you're trying so hard to keep the dam from breaking by constantly affirming, because you find if you stop doing this constant affirming for, I'm the one, I'm a mom, they love me, then this tidal wave of water is going to come crashing down at you. And that's all of the old story and the fears. The only reason why these mountains were created was simply because I was consciously putting myself in a place that I wasn't maintaining a mental diet, meaning I was allowing myself to be exposed over and over and over again to the things that I didn't want. And so a lot of fear, a lot of resentment, a lot of pain, a lot of frustration, a lot of impatience, understandably, but all of that was built up. You have to get back into your kingdom of heaven. And you don't do that through constant, affirming from a place of lack. What you do is you want to take most of the focus on your self concept of loving yourself and cherishing yourself and adoring yourself and being successful and having so many opportunities and being in your God state and being in your kingdom of heaven. And 3/4 of your looping affirmations through the day, you want it to be all about you and building up that kingdom of heaven and that love and that trust back within yourself. So the mental diet portion of the day is that if your end is being married, then the mental diet part of the day is you being married. You're the husband, the wife, the partner, and the spouse. So you wouldn't F around with a 3D version of somebody who's having sex with other people. You just wouldn't expose yourself to that stuff. So cut out the social media stuff. Even if it seems harmless, just cut it out. Cut out the pretending to be the friend. Cut out all of this stuff because it's like if you're not maintaining the mental diet and reducing the exposure to these things, it's similar to if you are on a diet in the physical 3D because you want to, get your body healthy, slim, strong, lean. And please don't say in the comments down below, you don't have to actually do that in the physical 3D. I'm using a physical 3D, just example. But if you are wanting to eat well and nourish your body, nourish your system, your muscles, get lean, it's likened to if instead while you're on the eating plan, you just keep eating pizza, cookies, pastries, pies, donuts, this and that and this and that. You say that you want to get strong and fit, but you stop working out, you start eating all of these things. And that's like what you're doing when you're not actually maintaining mental diet of being the wife. So now you find yourself, 300 pounds. And no shame, by the way, I was quite large at one point and I manifested, losing like over 100, I don't know how many pounds. Okay. But anyway, so back, let me get back to this. So it's similar to now you find yourself, you're beat up by the 3D because you technically weren't protecting, you weren't being the gatekeeper of your kingdom heaven, your imagination. You were manifesting from a bit of the furnace affliction of hell. And now you find yourself 300 pounds heavier. And sometimes we resist when we have to get back in the gym and we have to eat well. We resist it because it seems so like this seems like too much work now. This seems like too much. Like I've gone too far and now it seems overwhelming. It's as simple as forgive all of everything that happens so you can get out of the resistance and you can get out of the resentment of the things that your specific person has said and done. Forgive yourself 100%. It was not your fault at all. You were not intending to do this, so don't blame yourself because that's another thing. People fall into this whole guilt and shame. Not good. It's not your fault. Your subconscious programming is the cause of it, but you are not the cause of it. You didn't intentionally do this. So you need to kind of detox. You need to pull yourself out of it a little bit, maintain, like you want to go into the forgiveness and then see how you see your specific person, faithful, loving, kind, true, nurturing, protective, expressive, vulnerable, all of that stuff. And we can, again, go into this more and more with a one-on-one coaching session, depending specifically, I customize it based off of your particular beliefs. If you just make it all about your specific person, you can find yourself that your health, your finances, your career, and everything else around you in your reality is getting drained. Okay. So please don't do that because you are putting yourself through hell that's unnecessary. Okay. You have to actually truly buy the pearl. And then after you clean up all of the BS that happened, and sometimes like it might be necessary to see a therapist for some form of hypnotherapy or EMDR, which is really good. And I've had clients that have done those things and it's made a world of difference. You go back into that remembering now I'm going to start fresh right now. You are the creator of your reality. It is up to you. Get back in the emotional state of embodying being in the relationship. Drop all memories of all the stuff that happened because it doesn't matter. Don't continue to bring it back in. Don't continue to make those experiences matter. And then you have your grounding back, you're stable and secure, and you do your inner work from a place of power, not from a place of being this human trying to get something. No, you tap into that state of consciousness of being pure, unconditional love, which is God. Okay. Then you manifest from there. And throughout the day, you're on your mental diet, which means you are the gatekeeper of this perfect human imagination, which is your kingdom of heaven. You don't allow any BS to get past that gate. So thoughts you start to be aware of thoughts that are untrue. No, you don't accept it. You don't accept it. What is in your kingdom of heaven? We are happily, blissfully in love together. And I could go on and on. So if you're thinking of anything other than that, old stuff is creeping up. No, you cannot come into my kingdom of heaven. Because if you open those gates and you allow all the BS to take root in your mind, now you've put yourself back in hell, back into the furnace of affliction. Okay? I love you so much. Please do comment down below that you are going to remain and trust in your kingdom of heaven. And if you need me, reach out. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between